In Canada, they think all the way back to 92 and 93. The days of Joe Carter against Mitch Williams and walk-off dreams that were set from the Toronto Blue Jays. And then they waited and waited. Sport after sport, they turned season after season of disappointment until this run. And now one win away from glory. Not the way Oracle thought it could close the doors for the final time. If Toronto wins in Game 5, that will be the case, with Raptor fans singing "O Canada" while the Warrior fans head to their cars. Welcome inside. It is Game Time live at the finals, brought to you by YouTube TV. Casey Stern, C-Web, Jet, and Shaq. And guys, obviously a great performance from Toronto across the board, but we got to start, Webb, with Kawhi. Another 30-plus game. He had 35-plus in this case, 17 in the third quarter, and when he needed to, it seemed like every time made the big shot.
Yeah, and he controlled the pace. 0 turnovers, 12 rebounds for him, but just so right. When he got in that pick and roll, he was able to control the pace, and when he does that, so hard to stop, and then that allowed guys like Siakam and others to add their game to it.
Hey, listen, we could talk it all as what, but this scene here is unbelievable. I've never seen an opposing team take over another arena until tonight.
Stop it.
I've never, after the game,
Sacramento,
after the game,
everywhere the Red Sox ever played.
what, the Laker fans would take over arenas after the game? No, y'all got more of a wine and cheese crowd. Y'all don't have that.
Shots fired.
Okay.
Let's go back to 95. Play against each other. Let's go.
The Lake Show and
Here's Nick Nurse at the podium.
Went back to Fred and got big minutes out of Serge. Is that what your team does? You find the way to get the right guy in the right spot?
Well, we had a big problem with the third quarter in Game 2, Doug. So we had to make some adjustment there to try to combat the way they come out of the half. They've been historically really good at that, and we made the decision to put Fred in Game 3, and then Game 4 again tonight. So. And mostly it's to try to keep our pace of our offense going. Gives us 2 point guards out there that can push the ball, get it in and get it going, and it kind of paid off. I know Kawhi's 2 big threes to start the half really, I thought, changed the whole feel of everybody. I just thought everybody was like, okay, man, we're here, let's go, and we just kind of kept going from those 2 threes. Oh yeah,
his athleticism and his ability to affect the game at both ends.
Yeah, he's once he gets into the series, which he did in Game 3. With the block shots and the rebounding and stuff, he seems to stay in the series, and he was great tonight, man. He was, and it's kind of all. He usually gives you all of it. Once he starts blocking a couple shots, and the offense comes, and the rebounding comes, and a putback here and there, and even his jump shot seems to come. Once he gets into the game defensively with a block shot or 2.
All right, so Nick Nurse talking about Serge Ibaka, 9 of 12, 20 big points in this game. And Shaq, when you look at what Kyle Lowry said before the game, he said, people don't realize that group makes you feel like up at TO, it's us against them, us as in the entire country against the rest of the NBA. That is how they have put themselves in front, in the forefront. And to Kenny's point, I mean, they're singing "O Canada" pretty loudly while the Warriors fans exit.
Yes, they're very excited. They are 1 win away to become NBA champions. And I always mention the others. And I think I need to say this. Like, us as players, when we go through plays, we just stand around and go through plays. But you have to know how to play basketball. Kawhi Leonard, the son of the system, always makes the right play. Instead of when the play is called standing in your spot, you get double. What do you do as a big guy, Chris? You either pop back for the jumper or you dive.
Yeah.
Serge Ibaka did a great job of mixing that up tonight, and he took high percentage shots. We know he can step out and shoot the 3, but he had a lot of floaters, a lot of baby hooks, and he just got into the game. And hats off to Kawhi Leonard. A lot of people say he's number 3. He just moved up to the second best player in the league, in my opinion, because this kid is playing, and I like where he came from. He wasn't a high draft pick. This right here is the true definition of hard work. I love this kid. I love his demeanor. He never cries. He never complains. He plays the same way all the time. So right now, I'm saying he's the second best player, closing in on the best player in the game.
And who's the best player to you?
Well, LeBron is still the best player.
Roger. Well, I will say this. I was blessed to be on a championship team in Houston. and it was the first championship, major sporting championship for the city. Pales in comparison to what this is. Only because, as Kyle Lowry, when I interviewed him yesterday, I said, do you understand the magnitude of what this means for the country? And then he really, like you said, put it in perspective. Like, we have the Lakers over here, the Kings in California. You got 3 teams, Golden State, just in the state of California. There's one team. The first major sporting championship in basketball is happening right now, possibly. And they're doing it against the dynasty of what the modern era is in the NBA. This is an unbelievable experience to be part of. It almost makes me want to go to Game 5 and be part of it, because I want to see how it ends. Because there is 2,000 people still
holding
here.
it down.
Holding it down,
You
not
wanna go to
leaving
Game
the
5,
gym.
Kenny? You want to go to Game 5?
Let's go to Game 5, baby. We're going to Game 5, man. Let's go, man.
Ali B, come on, Ali
Let's
B.
go.
And to Kenny's point, you go back to 1993. Last time the Leafs were at the doorstep. Last time that when Joe Carter hit that homer, he's talking about back-to-back World Series for Jason. That's a long, long time ago for an entire country who, remember, in the meantime, in the NBA, lost the franchise, had
This
it
is true.
moved.
Us against the world.
Yes.
Casey. It's not. You know, we could put that. We like 12 strong. We put those quotes up.
That's right.
This is country strong.
That's right. The Montreal.
And this is
hey,
country
to your
strong,
point, the
man.
Montreal Canadiens, the last time in the whole country, which
There's
was 93.
no other
That's right.
Canadian basketball team. This is it.
But do you see what we're doing right now? We're happy like it's over. This thing ain't over
No,
yet.
Oh, not,
it's not. It's not.
There's
It's not.
2,000 people
I
up there,
don't care.
Shaq.
It's still not. Listen,
2,000.
it ain't over until
Let me-
the confetti flies, and then Adam Silver comes out with that gold ball.
Let me ask you about that, because there's a lot to talk about with this game, but it seemed like you could tell late, and I'm not saying as an excuse, but just visibly, tell me if otherwise, they look tired. There's a lot of minutes for Iguodala during this playoff run because of some of these injuries. Steph had a ton of usage. I know you're all saying no, but you watch the same game I do. They don't look tired to you?
No, because
Is
Really?
Kawhi hurt?
They look beat.
Is Kawhi hurt?
No. Again,
I know, but is
why
Kawhi
does
hurt?
everybody take it as an excuse? I'm just asking,
No,
do they
Kawhi
look
Leonard
tired?
because you're giving them an excuse. And
Yeah,
Why?
you're making
Why
them
is it
do
going to be an excuse?
Because everybody's tired right now.
Everybody's
and hurt.
tired
And you
right
only pick, not you, but some only pick out being tired when the Warriors lose.
Well, no.
Nobody says that when they come up and they win by 7. Hey, then they look tired going down. And if they are tired, I'll give you they're tired. So what?
We were in the Milwaukee series saying that Kawhi Leonard possibly might not play
Understand.
anymore.
When they were down 0-2.
Again,
And here he is
they were
now.
down 0-2
Now
in
he is
Milwaukee.
now doing his thing, and he still doesn't look healthy.
But he
still doesn't look healthy.
Let me ask you this, Kenny. To be fair, when you guys talk about going on run after run in championship terms, and you guys tell me as athletes
they don't
why
look
it's
like,
so hard.
They're not the better team right now.
No, I know they're not.
No, but I'm saying it has nothing
It
to
has
do
nothing
with
to do with
It's
it.
nothing to do
Okay.
with the 5-year run.
Durant was out there,
right
they wouldn't
now.
be tired because them jumpers would be
Right,
falling.
it's a different, and they have played well in spurts.
Yes.
But they haven't been sustainable income for them throughout this series. Have been throughout their whole run. They've had the same type of runs. They've just been more sustainable, and for some reason they're not able to sustain those runs against Toronto, and especially without Kevin Durant.
And I can say, because the lineup has changed many times, the flow hasn't been as fluid.
Yeah.
Tonight, I thought they were a little bit over anxious. A couple times when Steph Curry had the ball, it was like he double pumped on his three-point shot. I've
Could
never
you hold
seen
for
that
1
before.
second?
Yes.
Can we listen to this?
Bro, you too happy right now. Stop
Can
it.
you hear that?
Hey, stop
holding
it.
it down there.
Hey, this is
Shaq, that's the one. Hey, Shaq, you got to admit,
First of
you
all-
a champion, so you can't do that. But now, if any time is the front run, the fans supposed to be front runners from
First of
day
all-
one. The Detroit Lions gonna win the Super Bowl next year. I'm
what?
right now.
Wait, what?
First of all,
The Mets gonna win. Oh, the Mets. No, never mind. No, now you're excited.
Hey, see what? Whoever is in charge of this building should be ashamed of himself.
You be throwing people out of here.
Tim Harris
Get him
from the
out of here.
Staples Center, get him up out
I
of here.
turn the DJ on, the music.
Get him up out of here.
This could be the last game in this arena.
Yes.
And Toronto
That's
is
the
holding
serenade.
it down.
They were
Look at
holding
that, man.
the third quarter.
I've never seen this.
I've never seen this
I've
either.
been in the NBA more than I've not been. in my life, I've been in the NBA more than I've not.
I've
never seen this ever.
But it's not the team, Shaq.
It's not the team, Shaq. It's not the team. It's the fans. I've never seen fans.
No, man.
Okay.
Bleeding the back, bleeding.
Not you. Him and him.
Yeah, that's how the Mets fan does.
I think it's Casey. I ain't gonna lie. Hey, Shaq. Hey, they're making me believe it's over.
They live. I want to go over there.
I want to go in the stands.
Let's go do the show from the stands.
Oh, this is unbelievable.
What's up, Toronto?
Let's
go.
My goodness.
First of all, the Mets had 86. The Lions been 86th since about day one. I don't want to hear
Thanks for reminding me,
The
Casey.
third quarter, guys, over the last number of years has been owned by one team in the NBA. Golden State, it's been their best quarter. The third quarter tonight was owned by Kawhi. It was as good a quarter as he's had in the finals run this year or at San Antonio. It's 17 points in that third quarter. How about how impressed you were, guys, out of the half? When the lead wasn't big, it was 4 or 5 points, that it seemed to be the Raptors who really had that it thing pouring it on and not the home team.
I was watching this game carefully, and they never took 2 ill-advised shots in a row. Never got flustered, kept their poise, always made the right play. And listen, the son of the system, Kawhi Leonard, I can't say enough about him. He always makes the right play. And then what I also like about him, even when he's going, he doesn't mind getting off the ball and say, Kyrie, you make a play. Somebody else, you make a play. And listen, they're just playing together. They're just confident. They're just doing it. Probably going to need more from Iguodala. Sorry, Kenny. Going to need a lot more from DeMarcus Cousins and the bench. Bench only had 18 points. That's not enough for Golden State.
See, you're doing the Eastern Conference Final. Now we've seen Kawhi Leonard consecutively in big moments for 2.5, 3 series because we started gearing up. Honestly, we did gearing up. So we watched every game. I don't think we do that with most teams. I'm surprised how smart and cerebral in the moment he is. And when I mean coachable moment,
the system.
But the coachable moment to understand, like, oh no, they're up 7 now. We need a 3. Oh no, we're up 2. We need to go inside. Like, his understanding is almost coaching as a basketball player, which surprised me more than anything.
And you could see that understanding of time and score. We understand none of us Canadian residents. We do have one.
What up, Big Perk?
That's Texas.
We do have one on our crew. Lee
Texas,
Ellis,
stand up. What's up,
who
boy?
is in the crowd. Lee?
Hey guys, I'm in here right in the middle of it here with the Raptors fans. This is one of the most amazing scenes I've ever seen, really. These fans don't want to go home. The ushers are here trying to sort of push people out, but they're staying here. They're chanting, as you can hear. This could be a long night out here in the stands. This is a great atmosphere, and obviously these fans are very, very excited.
Whoa. Yo, you got to get him out the building.
First of all, I don't. It's going to take a lot to get all of those people out of the building. It's not like there's one dude to go escort. And plus, they're rabid. These are hockey fans.
Man.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it would be so disrespectful if one of us went over there. And especially if you, Chris, you could not go over there. You are a warrior.
Hey, Lee, can you find anyone understanding of a family program who you feel like you could ask about this excitement? Pick someone.
Hey, how's it feeling right now?
Oh, it's great, man. I mean, 24, 25 years just waiting. And honestly, if you asked me a year ago, I didn't think we'd be here. To beat the Warriors twice in Oracle, insane.
So what happens now? We're going home on Monday night.
Man, I won't be in Toronto. I live here, but I'm going to be cheering for sure. And Jurassic Park, they're probably going to need to expand it, I think. Because, the hype in Toronto for Game 5, unreal.
You're not going to make the effort to go back home for it? This could be like a monumental moment in Raptors history.
I don't know if I can afford more tickets for Game 5. I think I'm maxed out, but I'll be cheering nonetheless.
That's all right, baby. Casey, this is the most polite, rowdiest crowd I've ever seen in my life.
Excuse me. Yeah.
I thought Shaq was going to buy flights for the group.
They're
but
like,
I
we're
guess...
killing you. but consequently, the understanding
If
of
you'd like to eat at our house, you can.
Brandon, sit in that jet,
Sit in the
Brandon.
jet. We're going, man. We are going.
It is a spot that is as challenging as they've been in to stop the end of the run here at Oracle. The coach and Steve Kerr with his comments after the loss.
Logan standing on the left side.
Coach, NBC Sport, Logan Murdoch, NBC Sports Bay Area. You guys got outscored pretty big in the third quarter. How did it get away from you? in the third?
I thought they just took it to us right from the beginning of the quarter. Kawhi hit 2 threes immediately, and they turned up their defense, and they just got on a run, and we just sort of lost that defensive tenacity that we had in the first half.
Right, standing.
Coach Dan Devine from The Ringer. Uncomfortable position to be in, but not one you haven't seen before, down 3-1. What can you take from your past experience being on the brink as you try to get the guys ready for Game 5?
You just try to win one game. That's what we did a few years ago against OKC. Win one game and then you move forward. So that's our focus now. We'll fly to Toronto tomorrow and take a look at the film, see what we can do better, and try to win a game. We've won a lot of games over the years, so we'll try to win another one.
Third row over here.
CJ Peterson, San Francisco Examiner. Steve, obviously, Kawhi's 36 really carried Toronto tonight, but Serge Ibaka's 20 really hurt you guys. He's really active in the pick and roll. What was so hard about guarding Serge tonight?
He just got it going, and they did a good job in the second half of moving the ball and finding the open man. They hit 8 threes in the second half after we did a good job on them in the first. And so the ball started moving, and they found Serge in the pockets and in the middle of the paint several times, and he had a great game.
Towards the middle.
Nate Duncan, Dunked On Podcast. Coach, this is the most that your defense has struggled in the series since you've been here. What's been the issue for you guys defensively in the series?
We're playing a really good team that moves the ball. And I think we've had our moments defensively, but we haven't been able to string together the stops over the course of a game that we've needed to. So I give them the credit. They've just played really well offensively, and they got a lot of threats out there, a lot of shooters, a lot of passers, and so they're playing well, and we've got to do better.
Trae Young jumping in, Mr. Trey TL. KD, they need you now more than ever. Get your cape. There are going to be a lot of people who are going to have that kind of a mindset and thought. There have been a lot of conversations about what he has tried to do. Now, for those who don't realize, there was to be a scrimmage that he was going to be ready for yesterday, and then Steve Kerr saying that based on where they were and not being as far along as they wanted to physically with KD, he couldn't even get to the scrimmage level web yesterday. It would be hard to believe that he could play in any game of this series. But it's something to discuss because the people are going to discuss it. Everyone's going to step out and talk about all the, you got to come in and not knowing his situation. So what's your take on kind of the KD factor of, is he even possibly a factor for Game 5?
Well, let's be fair. You asked, were they tired? We said, no, we don't care about all that. They're not tired. You're here now, right? But what about the effort that they're putting in and the heart they're playing with? First of all, you have Cousins, who may have messed up his next contract because he's playing on one leg. He's not fully healthy, and you talk about other guys coming back. How about Looney coming back and other guys that are hurt? So, one, you have to love and respect the heart of Golden State. Second, with Kevin Durant, it's so tough because you won't necessarily get time to practice tomorrow. It's a travel day, and you've been out over a month. And so if you haven't had that practice, you don't have that rhythm. We know your presence on the floor makes everyone better, but at the same time, we don't know if you can be the best you can be or even close to what you can be. So I think that's, again, something that you have to leave into his hands, and I'm sure he wants to be out here more than anyone. So I'll never doubt his thought process or his heart. But that's just, to me, Kenny, just something I just don't know if you could come back after being gone that long.
I agree, but I guess Shaq has somebody he wants to introduce.
Okay. Yeah, that's my little nephew. What's your name?
Samuel.
And what team you going for?
Warriors.
Warriors. You think Kevin Durant's coming back?
I don't know.
Do you think they can win without Kevin Durant?
No.
So you think they need Kevin Durant to come back?
Yes.
So look in the camera and say, Kevin Durant, we need you to come back.
Do you just ask your nephew his name?
Come back. And also,
hey, man, I got a lot of kids. All right? Trust me.
It's not his nephew.
Somebody put that on your yearbook quote at home.
Nephew,
hey, I got a lot of kids.
Shaq love the kids. Nephew is a colloquial term.
Oh, yes,
term.
no, I
Listen,
I figured that.
Of course, the naysayers are going to say if Toronto happens to win, Toronto wasn't full strength, but this is the beauty and the ugliness of the NBA. All it takes is one minor injury or one, freak play for something like this to happen. But, whoever is between the lines still has to compete. And I know with, KD is a great necessity to have. It's a great option, and they're not full strength. But Golden State played great. Is he going to come back? I don't know. If he comes back and plays great, it'll be a hell of a story. But what happens if he doesn't play great?
Yeah.
What happens
if he plays great?
hurt worse, right?
Yeah, hurt worse. So, I mean, I don't know what he's going to do. You know, I wish everybody well. But this is some beautiful basketball. I'm sure that everybody is shocked, but Toronto is playing some good,
and they deserve it, right?
Good basketball right now. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, they still have enough to win, to play and win a series. If you're the Golden State Warriors, you still have 3 guys who have been NBA All-Stars, you know, consistently, and then you have another one who's been on and off in the Iguodala. So it's impossible to say that you have to feel sorry for them. But
do they have enough, Kenny, to beat this team 3 times in a row?
They have enough. They have enough, but it does be the way the games are being played. No, the way, because it's not sustainable income. It's frivolous. You're able to buy a couple things and it looks good,
goes
and
the
then
other
it's
way.
done and it's over. And what they have been able to do in other years is just continue to knock down threes, continue to spread the floor and make you play from far out. Now they're not. This is something different that I haven't seen, and I think also the Lowry and Kawhi effect defensively is just as impressive offensively.
Yeah, and that length and athleticism too. Siakam's made some big buckets late in games. Drake, by the way, on the Instagram, he says, "Ball game, are you ready? We got one more win. The real Warriors in the 6th." Ouch. We continue Game Time Live with the finals presented by YouTube TV. The third quarter, Warriors have owned it throughout the course of this run over the last 5 years. Tonight, it was owned by the Raptors, more specifically the duo of Kawhi and Ibaka. Kawhi with 17 in the third. And out of the break, the Raptors were hot. And now they break away north of the border, 1 win away from franchise history.
Mark, first question on the left side.
Mark Schwartz, ESPN. We often hear about the Warriors' championship pedigree and feel it. How much did you feel Kawhi Leonard's identity tonight, and in what areas did he affect this game?
I mean, he played amazing. He hit every big shot, momentum shot that in that third quarter gave him the lead, and then kept the separation. So we played pretty well for 26 minutes, and then they took control of the game. It's one of those nights where you play a lot of energy and start to build momentum, and then the wheels fall off a little bit. So for us, just understand they played another great game. Overall, as a team, not just Kawhi, and we got to do something about it if we want to, extend this series and have another game here.
Right here in the front.
Clay, Valeria Rubino, V-Sport. Basketball is becoming more and more scientific. How do you find the balance between pushing your limits on the court and resting your body, also to come back from injuries? Is it more based on your sensations or on scientific evaluations?
I think it's just based on the NBA Finals and the chance to be at this stage and compete. A lot of guys are banged up, probably on both teams, and it's just such a special opportunity. You just never know when it'll ever come back again. And obviously the science of nutrition and sports medicine is at an all-time high right now. So we have a great training staff who was able to get me back out there.
Steph, you and Clay have been teammates for so many years. What's the impact he has had on your career? Does it make you a better player?
Definitely, it makes our entire team better. He showed that tonight, obviously, with the injury like that, and to come back playing aggressive, hitting big shots, and giving us a chance to even be in the game. So obviously he's a gamer, and you love to go to war with guys like that, and we've been doing it for a long time.
Dan, standing in back right.
Back here, Dan Devine from The Ringer. Guys, you've been in this uncomfortable position before and been able to come back out of 3-1 down. What can you draw from that experience in 2016 as you try to get back on the right track here?
That's not over. I mean, this is not a good feeling right now, obviously. But like you said, we've been on both sides of it. And for us, it's an opportunity for us to, just flip this whole series on its head, and you got to do it one game at a time. It sounds cliche, and for us, that's literally the only way we're going to get back in the series is give everything we got for 48 minutes. Everybody that steps foot on that floor in Game 5. In our locker room, we were talking about believing. Everybody out there, believe that we can get this done. And we got, like I said, we can draw on those experiences that we had, back in the day, and see what happens.
Ron.
Justin Trudeau, obviously representing Canada, pretty happy. 3 down, 1 to go. Bring it home. Raptors, we the North. I want to talk about the Warriors, but just say this. Nobody misunderstands time and score most of the time more than the media. Because to sit there, I'm sorry, these dudes are giving everything they got. They're down 3-1. We're asking questions about, these are the kind of questions you ask in like preseason. Come on, people.
Yeah,
Come on.
Maybe
Enough.
that's just
everybody's not as smart
sorry.
as you.
That's
No,
the
not,
moment
I'm sorry.
We caught that.
Come on,
You're
that's
right.
some,
We caught
come
that.
on.
You're right. Those are some
It's
dumb
crazy.
questions.
So let me ask you a question. Let's start here. We know the mettle of this team. The two guys we just saw up there, champions. For you guys, how much on that plane are they thinking, one game at a time, we can't go down like this? What is the thought process for these two guys having won so much to be in this kind of spot?
That's all they're thinking. They just thinking they got to win one game. And, a lot of times you see them play off will and, play off talent. Never really seen them play out of desperation. Now, two things could happen. They could either get on fire and, fulfill the fantasy of winning one game, or they can collapse. Must win. TNT slogan stands, you win or you go home. But, they definitely know what it takes. They just think about that one game. They're going to come out. They're going to be flying. They're going to be doing everything right. And Toronto has to withstand their run. And I know the fans are making noise and everybody's sending tweets. Key for Toronto is do not get too happy. You still have to knock the champ out. This is Lennox Lewis. This is Mike Tyson. You're not going to beat them in the 12-round decision.
Or bite their ear off.
You have to knock them out.
Yeah, I think the one thing I could take it from either. I'll take it from either how to close it out or how to come back. Because I've been blessed to be on a team that was on a 3-1 thought process. So maybe I'll take the how to come back. So, and you take how to close it out. So for me, you go. Your mental is as you go into practice tomorrow, and you go. If we win in Toronto, ain't no way they coming back to Oracle and winning. So now we have to get that one, because the next one we're cruising in and we're going to get Game 6. And then now it's a 7-game series. And if you come with that shortened mindset that it's so possible, and you have a delusion of grandeur, you can do it. We were down 3-1, and we said, man, all we have to do is win one there, because we're going to win at home on Game 6. There's no doubt about that. So all we have to do is win in Game 7, and we were fortunate enough to be blessed to do it.
We will get, Webb, your thoughts on this in a second, but preempted for good reason, because we're about to mic up and bring on set Kyle Lowry, the longest tenured Raptor, 1 win away. Look at the handiwork of the combo of Lowry and Siakam. The Raptors came out of the break hot, huge third quarter. Ended up being strong in the finish on both ends of the floor.
You just got to know he's there. You just got to know he's there.
They are 1 win away. In what could be the last game ever at Oracle, they were being serenaded by thousands of Raptors fans singing "Oh Canada" as we bring in the longest tenured Raptor and Kyle Lowry. So let me start with that, because we're sitting here and our guys who have won titles are sitting there admiring, having never seen that.
He didn't see it either. He was in the locker room.
I know, but you talk.
2,000 people stayed out here. This whole section and that whole section, and was singing "Oh Canada" and "We the North." And they stayed here for what, 30 minutes?
Yeah. If it was a DJ and champagne, it'd still be a party over there like a club.
I've never seen anything like that.
You know, it's crazy, man. They kind of, everywhere we go, they do that. Everywhere we go, they do that, man. And y'all see it when we do the national anthem before the games. They literally, everyone's singing.
Take a look. This is what the scene was.
Oh, wow.
Exactly.
Jurassic Park of the West, huh?
Exactly.
that's crazy right there.
I've never seen that.
Kyle, I want to say thank you. Because, on the set, we're very hard on you. Mm-hmm. Not because we hate him, because we want to see you succeed. So we was hard on you one day, and one day I saw you, and you came to me and you said, I appreciate the advice, big fella. Thanks for understanding what we're trying to do, especially when it comes to young fellas.
Yeah, man.
You're playing well. And what do you think you guys have to do in the next game to close this thing out?
I think we got to stay focused. I think they're going to give us a heck of a punch. I think we got to stay the way we've been. I mean, honestly, all year we've been level-headed. I think our defense has been pretty good. Transition defense and getting back. I mean, Steph and Clay, they're going to get theirs, but we got to continue to help and run them off the line and make sure that they're playing inside that line.
If you look at the overall preparation, how do you prepare when, oh, Looney's out, Looney's in.
Yeah.
Oh, Steph's out, Steph's in. Oh, Kevin Durant. How do you prepare? Because there is a game plan that you have to have and shoot around.
You know, we kind of just focus on ourselves, and we just focus on where we're supposed to be. And, you know, we prepare like Clay's going to play and Steph's going to play, and we got to figure out where we're going to be at all times no matter what. And that's the one thing about us. We're not focused on, you know, we're focused on the Warriors, but we're more focused on ourselves. And that's how we got to continue to approach
Coach
every
Smith
game.
had a saying, C-Web, he says, basketball is like golf. You play the course. You don't play the opponent. And that's what you guys have to do right now.
That's what
you
we've been
can't
doing.
play the opponent because it's changing
every night. And every game is different. Yeah,
What if you're from the hood and you can't afford to get on the golf course?
King ball.
Mini golf. Mini golf. There's mini golf.
Hey, Larry, so many kids watching, man, and Shaq just talked about how in the studio they were tough on you. And every night we know that you bring the effort. And we know that, you know, one game or one series you didn't score in a game, and then you come back and the Bucks was a great series. And now, could you just talk a little bit about staying the course and keeping your confidence even when things aren't going well?
I've been through worse. I grew up not having this is fun. You know what I'm saying? And people say, "Oh, it's this is fun." You know, the thing about me is, you know, I listen and hear everything, and nothing's gonna really take me off course. You know, I got two beautiful kids at home. I'm provide for them. I'm gonna go out here and do my job no matter what. Sometimes the game causes me not to score or chooses to say, "Don't shoot this shot," or be a little bit more passive. But you know, my teammates are always on me to be more aggressive and be more assertive, and I kind of just give what the game takes.
Well, I'll be a teammate. When you're aggressive,
we're better.
You're a better team. Because what it does is it allows your team to play at a pace that Siakam flows in easily, and it allows Kawhi to flow in easy. It allows Mark Gasol.
Takes attention off Kawhi.
It just makes your team flow better.
And that's what
I'm trying to do. And in the midst of your aggression, which Kenny is right, Shaq is 100% right. It's good to see though that you're not a player that your scoring determines how hard you play or what you do on the defensive end, because there's a lot of guys that score, but defensively we don't see that effort. So it's good seeing the
honestly, I was a backup and I played in Houston and Memphis. I wasn't a scorer. I was go out there, play hard, play defense, change the pace, and come out the game. And in Toronto, I kind of been forced into being a scorer, a 20-point guy. And you know, that's the one thing about me is nothing matters. Like as long as I win games, you know, can't tell me nothing. And
Kyle,
my team wins, we're good.
You talked to Kenny during your chat about the process, about being ready, and if you're ready every day during the year, you have to then turn that switch on.
Right.
Shaq said something earlier, I think, that I wanted to bring up with you, and that is you guys never seem to take bad shots consecutively. There's always going to be a bad possession here and there, but you guys seem to always make the right play. How much has that allowed you to be more calm on offense in moments like this on the road, because that's been your nature all year?
I mean, look at our crew that plays. You know, myself, Danny, Mark, Kawhi, Serge. We've been doing this a long time, and you know, we've been playing 8 years plus, and all of us. And you know, Freddie's been, you know, the old man of the group, you know, but he's the young guy. You know, Patrick McCall, you know, he's a 2-time champion. You know, like everyone on our team is kind of just like, you know, stay the course, stay the moment, and you know, we understand that. Listen, we're gonna get to our spots. We're going to go here. This is the shot we're going to take. If you miss, you miss. If you make it, then good shot. Let's get back on D and continue to work.
Kenny knows the answer to this question, but me and C-Web, we don't. As a guy that's a scoring guard, when you have to follow Steph Curry after he passes that, do you get tired of doing that?
No. It's part of the job right now. You got to stay locked in, and no matter what, he's one of the best basketball players ever to, you know, play the game. And, you know, you take your eye off him for a half a second, he's going to get a three. And, I mean, that's what, you know, preparation is. You got to continue to be in shape and be ready to go.
It actually engages you
more. Yeah.
It allows you to be in the game, because sometimes you're trying to figure out ways to get into the game. You walk on the court guarding a guy like him, you're already in the game. So I always thought playing against guys like, you know, Stockton and Peyton and Kevin Johnson, you actually play better because they're always engaged. You're engaged in every play.
You got to be ready to go. Like literally from the
From
jump
door.
ball. I mean, last game, game 3, he had the first play come right to him, and I got screened, and I'm like, all right, I gotta wake up. I gotta get going. I gotta get my body going. You stay mentally locked in at all times.
All right, we've been talking about how much Shaq has kind of locked in everyone on the Raptors in different ways to talk with Danny Green, and apparently there's a touch here on Twitter. No. When this hand, what is that?
Yeah, the pocket. That's the OG.
We from Philly, I'm from Jersey. Snitches get stitches. We ain't telling y'all nothing. We don't know nothing. We ain't seen nothing.
Congrats on being
Thank
a win
you.
away. Safe travels and enjoy the rest
Appreciate
of the way.
it, fellas. Thank you.
All right, Kyle Lowry joining us on set. We've got more coverage. Game Time Live at the Finals, presented by YouTube TV, continues from Oracle on the other side.
TV.
We continue Game Time Live at the Finals, presented by YouTube TV. Draymond Green approaches the podium, down 3-1 in the series.
First question, fourth row towards the center.
Hi, Draymond. Rick Tittle with 95.7 The Game and Sports Byline right here in the middle. Coach Kerr was just talking about how much pride you guys have, and you've been on top of the mountain for 2 years, and these guys trying to knock you off and take the crown. How much does that pride, just take that next game one at a time when you know someone's trying to take that crown from you?
I mean, that's important, to have that pride, have the faith in what we're capable of. Like you said, just got to take it one game at a time. We got to win one game. We win one, then we'll build on that. But I've been on the wrong side of 3-1 before, so why not make our own history?
Next question on the right.
Draymond, Jeff Ferrato, Bay Area News Group. Steve was just in here talking about the intensity that you guys played with defensively in the first half, and you in particular. What do you think the difference was in the second half? Did you guys get tired, or did they just start executing differently?
I think they made shots. Our defense is flying around. I think we still got some good contests there in the second half. Start at the half. I think I got 2 great contests on Kawhi threes. He hit them. And then they found the rhythm. And once a team like that finds a rhythm, it's hard to take them out of it.
Their ball movement is very good, obviously. Did that seem to give them open shots at times and leave you guys a half a step behind?
Their ball movement has been great. I think our rotations tonight was better, but still got to get better. So.
Tim in the back left.
Draymond, Tim Reynolds with the Associated Press. Two questions. One, how difficult is it to try to rattle a guy like Kawhi who just doesn't really get rattled ever? And two, do you have any hope that KD can get out there on Monday, and how hard would that be for him after not playing for a month?
I don't think you're ever going to rattle Kawhi. I'm not sure we've used that word one time in our scouting report. Rattle him. But you just try to make him take tough shots, and you live with the results. And as far as KD, there's been hope that he will come back the whole series. So, that's not going to change now. Obviously, we hope to have him, but we'll see what happens. We don't make that final call. He don't really even make that final call. His body will tell him if he can get out there or not, and if he can, great. If not, we still got to try to find a way to win the next game.
Tweet comes in. Nick Nurse just brought down Oracle. Warriors, Raps. We, the North. So let's talk about in this building. Obviously, this is not the way that the Warriors wanted to close things out in this game, and certainly don't want to all time. They're trying to get to Game 6. Got to win Game 5 first. Is this the last time? Forget we, but any we is going to sit here in this building for a basketball game. Do you think it's done in Game 5?
The series is over, but I don't know if this is the last time we'll come back to Oracle.
So it's over. You don't know if it's in 5.
Yeah, you just don't know if it's in 5. I'd be very surprised if at least if they won three games in a row. But in saying that, Kenny has showed never underestimate the heart of the champion. So you have to love that. But at the same time, I was a team that went up against the Lakers and the great teams and things like that. And so from an underdog's perspective for Toronto, they just need to concentrate on trying to win and to focus. Whether Draymond really believes what he says, whether Andre Iguodala is healthy, whether Clay, all these guys are healthy, it really doesn't matter. They've shown and proven that they can come back from 3-1. They've shown that they're a brotherhood, that they're a team. And I know that they don't want this to be their last game, and so until someone takes them down officially, I ride with them. But I'd be very surprised if Toronto would allow them to come back. Because if I'm Toronto, my mind state is we have to win at home, or we don't know what's going to happen next.
Kenny knows this, and C-Webb knows this. The closeout games are the toughest games, especially the ones in the finals. And you have a team that got two guys that can get it going really, really quickly if you're not on your game plan. So the key for Toronto, like Kyle Lowry just said, you have to be in the moment. You have to continue to, withstand their punches and, what they're going to do. You have to continue to make the right play. And don't get cute. Like, for example, when you're home against Golden State, the three is going to be there a lot. That don't mean you need to take it. You need to take the highest percentage shots, move the ball, keep everybody involved. And if you do that and play at your pace, you should be okay. But if you mess around and let them win a game and gain confidence, this is the wrong team to let give a confidence boost.
Channing?
Well, there has to be a shot in the arm. There has to be somebody who lights a fire other than this guy, possibly, or Klay Thompson. For us, our Game 5 hero was Vernon Maxwell. He had about a 35-point game. Then Game 6, I think I had like 26. In Game 7, Dream brought us home. So there has to be someone who could ignite the fire other than the guy you're expecting it to. Is that shot in the arm Kevin Durant? Possibly. Is that shot in the arm a Quinn Cook getting 21 points? Possibly. Something like that has to happen because the way things are going and the way things have been seen over the 4 games, again, no sustainable income for the Golden State Warriors. It doesn't stay out longer than quarters, 1 quarter or quarter and a half.
I want to ask you guys this because you mentioned the word confidence, and Kenny, I know you talk about it a lot. You guys always do it, and it's the most important. Look, anybody watching at home, myself, non-athletes, it's important in anybody who's successful, right? They've had so much swag, so much confidence throughout this run, and even Draymond a couple of days ago, we're going to dice up the box in one. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. It's okay to be a little bit vulnerable and look a little bit defeated being down 3-1, but when you've got the length and the athleticism of the Raptors and their depth, do any of you think that this is as low as the confidence in the group, not Klay and himself or Steph and himself or in each other as Splash Brothers, but when you look around on that floor, do you think that there's part of that group that says, with what we have right now, I don't know if we can beat this team 3 times in a row?
No, because they're shooters. The only thing they're looking at right now is shots. My shot wasn't on. I guarantee, Steph Curry going 9 for 22. 9 for 22. He's saying, and if I can go 13 for 22 or maybe 14 for 22.
But they scored 55, though, Shaq, between the two of them, right?
You're right. But listen, they're not going to quit, right? You definitely have to knock these guys out. If you play the right way, you can. And their confidence is a little bit low, as it should be. They're 3-1. But guess what? That can give them a great confidence boost. You win 1 game. And, like Kenny said, I guarantee you, if they win that game,
this place is electric.
On fire. This place is going to be on fire. They're going to be on fire, and then their confidence is going to be doubled. And now you really, really got to play. If you're the Raptors, you really, really got to play like perfect basketball to beat them. So the Raptors have to be careful. I know everybody's happy in Canada, but
sure,
you can't get too happy. You have to stick to the game plan and do what you've been doing.
Webb, do you think doubt's crept in a little bit? Just watching as well and as deep as the Raptors have played?
I do, but I've seen doubt creep into the greatest, and I saw them come back and bounce back. And so with that, when you have a great player and great teams, it's okay to be vulnerable because that vulnerability may take you to a place you've never been before. What if Steph is at a place he's never been before? You think he's going to come out and lay an egg?
No,
not you. But I'm saying he's going to come out, in my opinion, when Klay Thompson had bad games, I would just say, he's going to have 40 tomorrow because he's in a place he doesn't like being. And so I understand that when the best have their back against the wall, you're usually going to get their best punch. Because Kyle Lowry just told us, when we go home, we expect to get punched in the face hard when we come out. And the reason why he says that is because he knows that practice gives you confidence, confidence gives you swag, and that ego is built on how many hours you're in the gym. And I don't know if anyone has the right to have more confidence than the Golden State Warriors, no matter how bad they're playing.
And you know what happens when you're down in a series and you say, and he says, you're in a place that you've never been? It makes you drive to your teammate's house at 12:30 at night.
Wow, yeah.
And ring his doorbell and start talking basketball. That's what happened to us.
That's real.
It makes you get to practice this early it just makes you do things that are uncharacteristic because you don't want the feeling of defeat. And so once you do that, then all of a sudden you rise and you meet new heights. And then if you win, your confidence soars even more because you now become more unified as a unit by doing that. So sometimes getting down is actually the best thing to make you a champion.
55, the two champions in that guard position, and I think we wouldn't be surprised if they score 70. Iguodala, Cousins, McKinney, Livingston, and Cook. A combined 17 between the five of them. Need more than that.
I would like to say this, though.
Game.
As a hooper, all y'all hoopers texting KD. Man, quit doing that. You ain't on this team. Man, what y'all doing, man? What's going on with the NBA, man?
Thank you.
I hate this stuff, man.
We learned.
You texting somebody else on the other team to win a championship.
You're a fan.
Come on, man.
Thank you, C-Web.
Okay, thanks, Shaq. I'm just saying, man. I love us. Come on, man.
If they find you, I'm going to pay for it.
Hey, man.
We did have that clarification to a text or a direct message, or in this case a tweet, but that was with, I believe,
we saw a couple
writer,
tweets. We saw KD Trey quit tweeting other men, man. Quit tweeting guys that's just playing ball. Go work on your game so that you can be in the championship. It's all this buddy stuff. KD gonna get 50 on you when he see you next time. You was tweeting me to take this. I mean, come on, man.
I agree with you.
Okay, all right. Oh my gosh. Oh, no, he's talking about the team. See, I don't mind that. He's a defensive player.
I do.
He's a defensive player.
He said consistency wins. Because you know what that tweet is?
First of all,
I want the defensive player of the year.
Shout out yourself, big fella.
He's like, I ain't mad at that. Defense wins championships. The best defensive players are the best in the world.
I'm not tweeting, you're tweeting.
Hey, Shaq, please win one. Bring out your best.
We got more from Oracle. Game Time Live in the finals. We continue Game Time Live in the finals presented by YouTube TV. Clay would play, and the crowd was riled up before we get started. Also, by the way, Kevon Looney from officially out for the rest of the series. Forget the rest of the series. He was in and gave his best while hurt for game number 4. Clay, shot not hurt early, got going early here, Webb, with a couple of makes in the first.
Yeah, and what I loved is that when Clay came out and warmed up in front of us before the pregame, he pumped the crowd up. He was ready to go from the first second of the game. Gotta love it.
Shaq active Looney through the first couple rounds of the playoffs. He comes back despite being told he was out for the series and was as active as he could be tonight under the rim.
Yeah, he was on the bench the other day and he didn't like what he saw, and he said, you know what, Doc, shoot me up, give me some anti-inflammatory medicine. I want to come out here and try to help my team get a win.
Kenny Siakam, one-on-one, continues to impress with his growth.
Well, yeah, he's a walking mismatch. You put it big on him, he drives by him. You put it small on him, he posts him up. Walking mismatch. Pascal Siakam.
Clay had 14 and a half. He was pumped up going down the other side, talking to the crowd. They're up 8. They're up 4 at the break, 46-42. And then it was Kawhi, as good a quarter as he's had in the playoffs or in a final in his career. It's 17, Webb, coming out hot and firing from 3.
Yeah, and he can control the pace, and I hope a lot of players, young players, watch how he can control the pace. He never gets rushed, and he's a mid-range expert.
Serge, a resurgence.
Serge was incredible today. You know,
and what do you do, Kenny, when your big man plays defense? Reward him.
Rebound, and then he's the recipient of the 3. He shot the ball incredible. He was 9 for 12 tonight. But this guy, when you open the floor up, too little, too big, too strong.
See where he's shooting that thing like Glenn Rice, ain't he?
Hey man, he is. Man, he's holding it up there, and he gets to his spot, Shaq. That's what I love. His footwork, and he gets to his spot and he lets it go.
How impressed are you guys? It never seems rushed too, right? Even when he makes the right pass, Kenny, he's a guy who never seems like the game's too fast for him.
No, the game isn't too fast for him because he makes the game play at his pace. You have to play slower. So that's the difference with what's going on right now.
And he's been terrific. Fred VanVleet has also been terrific, but here, I cut underneath. They picked up one tooth. There was another one that ended up found while some free throws were being shot. Got 7 stitches. He would come back to the game. Meanwhile, Kyle Lowry, the drive.
Look at his pass.
Find Kawhi. Money.
Yeah, I'm not sure how he gets left open if you're Andre.
Jurassic Park loves it. Largest lead to that point at 16. But you mentioned champion Shaq. Clay not going to go away. He was big all night. Buries another 3.
You know, he shot the ball very well, very dangerous. They just, they had too many defensive lapses, and they're still super careless with the basketball at times.
Raps put it away.
It was definitely the bench. You know, with Serge Ibaka, his when he came into the game, I thought that was the difference. He's the separator because between Klay and Kawhi and Steph, they all had big nights offensively, but Serge was huge.
Hey, Kenny, their guards do a great job. You saw in a couple of plays there. They had plays where Siakam and Ibaka would cut to the rim and sneak behind Iguodala, and just the right plays at the right passes on cuts at the right times to get easy buckets. They had a lot of easy baskets late in the fourth.
It's not the 20 points, it's the efficiency.
Right?
You know, how efficient.
Look at us. Look at us.
This is how it was.
Toronto.
Yeah, we the North is
live.
Yeah, jump.
No. Stay where you are.
Oh, okay.
Stay where you are. He was just singing the song. He just stay where you are.
That's all. Yeah, jump.
Yeah, the efficiency. You can have guys who have 25, 30, 26, but you just can't have them be efficient in getting it. And everyone on Toronto was efficient with the exception maybe of Kyle Lowry in getting their baskets and getting their shots. So to me, that's the separator. The efficiency, not the amount of points. That's why I never look at a box score since I probably even played, because it's like who was efficient in getting what they're getting, and Toronto has been super efficient.
There was a point in the third quarter where Kawhi had back-to-back threes after, if you remember, 2 turnovers to open the quarter. Third possession down, he comes down, breaks down his man, and instead of going in because he's heat checking to try and shoot, nice little easy bounce pass to Gasol, who had an easier bucket for a layup. Just always seems like they're finding that easier basket, and now they're going to be a tough look. We talk about Golden State. We know about the championship heart. To go up in that building, and you guys could speak to it. You were there. As crazy as it's going to be, you think they were crazy here. That's going to be nuts. 1 win away. That's going to be a tough task the way this Raptor team has played.
And again, the key is because we've all been in this position, can't get cute and can't get overexcited. You have to stick to the game plan. You definitely have to take high percentage shots. Golden State's going to give you a lot of threes. They're going to try to outshoot you, but you don't have to play their game. That is their game. Your game is moving the ball, getting everybody involved. If we're not going, get it to Kawhi, let him go to work, and, we just outwork the opponent. Kudos also to Toronto. When Golden State got the lead in this building, the building got kind of loud, they did not panic. They did not panic at all.
Webb, one thing you think of is, because sometimes you wait until it's too late to really respect what a team has accomplished, and we know what Masai and Nick Nurse and those guys have done. Think about all year, all the talk about Boston, everybody waiting for them to do what they do in the East, and then the Sixers, well, I don't know if they're deep enough, but they got the best starting 5, and everyone focused on that, and then it was
Milwaukee.
Giannis, and then what Giannis was doing, and look at their depth and how great it is, and now they're going to be good.
And let's go back to Kawhi last year, them talking about him saying he doesn't have heart, he's not a winner because he's not talking about his injury, and he's injured now, and he's not talking about it.
But people didn't think
He's not even talking about the shot that he made. He doesn't talk. We realize he just doesn't talk.
That's why for me it's good because he's that same player. And we talk about Golden State, and they're so good, but their weakness has always been turnovers. Tonight they had 17 turnovers. And so we'll talk about the shot that Kawhi hit. We'll talk about the pass, but it's all spurred off of turnovers. And if you're Toronto, you should do the little things. You can get better in the rebounding. You got out-rebounded. You turned the ball over. So it's hustle areas they can get better in. It's just fun watching this game, and both teams keep their composure going.
Kenny was talking about not Webb, just the 20 from Ibaka, but the efficiency. We look at the video, and you could see some of the things he was doing really on both ends. He had that huge Game 7 in that series to kind of propel them forward to that Bucks series. And really, this is probably the best game he's had in the last couple of weeks. What do you see from Ibaka tonight with this video?
Well, I saw Ibaka came out active, and you can tell in his warm-up that he was ready. He wasn't playing around on the other end, getting the shots up. But whenever he comes back being the old blocker, or as Dennis Scott calls him, the surge protector. And look at this. That's a good shot, but did you see how far away the next defender was? So a lot of this still has to do with what you do on the other end. So look at this screen we're going to see, and then he makes the correct play inside and knocks that jump hook down. And if he misses, Siakam is in the right place. But again, it starts with just the regular plays and doing your job. If you don't have it, you got a wide open man over there, and he can pass it. So we heard Kyle Lowry come over here and say, we get to our spots, we trust each other, and we play our game. And that allows you to play trusting each other, not worrying about the next play because you've drilled it in so much. But if I just do my job, everyone else can do theirs, and we have a better chance of winning.
On the other side, as we kind of come to a close here on the Warriors' end, at least until we see them in Toronto for the next game. Shaq, I know we were talking about it a little bit when we were watching the game. Boogie Cousins clearly Game 2, it seems like because of adrenaline and everything he was given, he'd never been in this spot. He gave his body everything he had, probably too soon, right, from that body, and we've seen it go the other way. But how about now the future for him? Because this is a guy who could have sat out, not fought his way back, did it for the right reasons, but he has not looked very good at all last couple of games.
Well, listen, for big guys, it's already hard to come back from injuries, and he's had 2 major injuries on the same leg. So I'm sure his rehab was treatment, stem and ice and all that. He probably didn't get a lot of chance to do explosive activities, to get that back. So, but he's not playing like the boogie we know that we've seen in past. But key for him is in the next game, just play your game. Don't try to do too much. If KD doesn't come back, we know you can get 20, but that's not really how Golden State plays. They need to play Golden State basketball, move the basketball, high percentage shot, and hopefully the Splash Brothers can get going. But he hasn't really looked that good, but he's had, to his credit, he's had 2 major injuries on the same side.
Let's close it out this way, because I know we talked about the heart in a championship fight, but let's put you on it, because I know there's a 3-on-3 for Game 7. If we get there, we'll leave that alone. But let's go to Game 5. Who wins?
I'm going to have to go with Toronto. They're playing great basketball, and, they're very poised. Not a lot of people could come against Golden State Warriors, be down at Oracle, not panic, and come back and win the game.
I'd have to go with Toronto because I don't know who's going to be that igniter because there's so many doubts. Toronto right now, this might have been the last game at Oracle.
I'm going with Toronto because they do the little things. 17 turnovers they caused tonight. 4 block shots they caused tonight. They don't turn the ball over. It's not just about the threes and who can score. It's about who brings their hard hat to every game. And since Game 3 against the Bucks, they've brought their hard hat to most of the game.
Shaq, I thank you in French, but I'm not sure how. I know this is your last ride. Thank you last couple of days. Always fun to work with you guys. Enjoy the limited off season before the awards in, a few days now?
You don't want to say anything to me because this is my last game,
I'll go one at a time.
Okay, no.
I was going to give you your own personal time.
Y'all supposed to have that New York love, New York Mets at the table.
That's how Kawhi, you said, has his success. If the game's not too fast, he slows it down.
We're going to miss you, Casey.
Well,
you
forget
too,
me,
C-Wed.
but
D. Scott, NBA TV crew, we're going to miss you guys.
Everybody out here.
We'll see you for the awards. Kenny, thanks a lot. Last couple of games, it was.
No, that's not.
I
That's
appreciate
red,
that.
red wine.
Let's roll
Little
Kenny's.
Merlot. I got my little Merlot on.
Let's roll Kenny's 7 threes from 95. Oh no, really?
Merlot. It's Merlot. It's Merlot. I felt like I dropped in a glass of red wine. This suit used to be white.
What kind of car you driving? Little red Corvette.
Somewhere right now, UB40 is rolling over wherever they are. We send it to Kawhi Leonard at the podium, which is always an adventure. He's one win away. I'm sure he'll break down the math.
Shout out to Red Man.
First question here in the front row.
Kawhi, congratulations for tonight. Valeria Rubino, V Sport. A lot of injuries on both sides after playing so many games. How do you manage to maximize your performance while playing through pain? Do you need to do something specific before, as a warm-up, or after the game to feel better?
Yeah, for sure. You do your warm-up, get treatment before the game, off days. After the game, whatever that can help you speed your recovery up so you're able to play the next day.
Next question here in the second row on the, there you go. No, one row up. Second in. Thank you.
Hey Kawhi, Trista Crick, USA Today. Obviously you guys are effective offensively, but your defense is really what obviously shined tonight. 04 Pistons come to mind, 2014 Spurs also come to mind. You were obviously with Danny on that team. Can you just describe the differences between the team in 2014 that you were on with Danny and this one, defensively?
We're playing 2 different teams. I think we're a lot younger. We could switch pretty much if Serge is in the lineup 1 through 5. And I don't know. It's hard to say. I got to watch film and see what I see. But from the most part, that's what pretty much sticks out. We're probably a little bit longer, a little bit more athletic, and able to switch like 1 through 5.
Robert, towards the middle.
Robert Littal, BSO. Kawhi, could you talk a little bit about that first quarter? Your teammates were struggling a little bit with their shot. You were more aggressive in that first quarter, trying to keep you guys in the game. Is that something, as kind of the leader of the team, you got a feeling that you didn't want it to get away from you on the road, and that's how you decided to come out and attack that?
Yeah, and at the same time, I knew, I had faith that it was going to turn around for us. We was missing a lot of wide open shots. Obviously I was getting to my spots and shooting the ball. But like you said, as the quarter went on towards the last 4 or 5 minutes, I tried to stay as aggressive as possible, get to my spots, be confident, shoot the basketball. And, within that first quarter, I still was passing the ball. I wanted my team to still stay in a rhythm and know that I'm going to give them the ball when they're open.
Davide here in the third row.
Kawhi, Davide Chinellato, Gazzetta Italy. You win 3 games out of 4 against a team who is mentioned when we talk about best dynasty ever. What makes you better than them so far?
It's not over yet, so I can't say that we're better. Just the key to tonight's win was pretty much, as you guys know, playing defense. And, towards that second half, we started to make some shots. And we just pretty much stuck into the game, stayed in the game.
Quick follow-up. What have you seen constantly in your team that has made the difference 3 times out of 4? Like, I don't know, your determination, your ability to defend, or you guys making shots?
I pretty much just said it. Our defense and, willing to stay in the game, have faith, not put our head down, knowing that we're going to make shots. And, that's pretty much what happened tonight.
Fourth row towards the center.
Role in the Guardian. Kawhi, you obviously had an explosive third quarter, and so did your team. I'm just curious what was said during halftime.
Nothing really. We're confident. We're on the road, down 4. We wanted to come in and have a good third quarter. Come out the first 5 minutes. Stay aggressive on both ends of the floor. Keep our energy up. That's all we did.
Arash over in the back right.
Kawhi, to your right, Arash Madain from Sportsnet. Further to that, this isn't a team that gets outscored by 16, especially out of the break. They're a good third quarter team. How do you think you guys are able to keep your foot on the gas pedal throughout to limit them and to score the way you did?
Obviously, just stay focused on, Clay and Steph. Just trying to make sure they don't get in too good of a rhythm. They're great players. Just try to make sure we contest them as much as possible. And then on the other end, just come down and, try to have some ball movement, some flow, some pace, and, just make hard cuts and just believe. Stay confident in your shot, and, that's what happened.
Michael over here on the left side.
Kawhi, Michael Grange from Sportsnet over down this middle. You're staying in the moment's kind of been your theme all season, but you are 1 game away from an NBA title. Does that sort of make it a little more difficult to stay in the moment? And how do you feel about that going into Game 5?
You just got to be patient with it, Not really. We were 2 games away, 4 games away. It doesn't matter until you get that 4th win. We just have to stay confident in ourselves, be patient, don't try to rush things, and see how it plays out.
Next question, back right.
Hi, Kawhi here. Carlos Ramirez, Telemundo. It appeared you guys had some more problems when they switched up straight up instead of when they went double-team you guys, whether it was you or Kyle. Were you surprised they were not switching more, especially in that 4th quarter, just trying to double you up, like that pass you had for Danny when Steph helped off the strong side corner?
You're saying, was I surprised they didn't switch more and not double? No. I thought we played well on the switches. They put the bigs on the guards, and we attacked and, made passes, and we made shots or drove and found somebody under the rim. And no, not really. I didn't think of it like that. We just kept playing the game and read and react.
Right here in this corner.
Kawhi, Kahari Jones, post-up zone. You guys were able to stay level-headed and composed throughout the season. And how were you able to do that, and how did it affect the shape of the team?
I mean, just going through the season and, having our ups and downs, our experiences as a team of, having bad streaks of losing or winning, just, within our huddle. And, we just take those experiences and, keep moving and learn from them and just all talk to each other, really, and just keep our mindset on one goal.
Last question on the right side.
Kawhi, Jonathan Cho, Dia TV. If the Raptors win the NBA title, what do you think this will mean for Canada and the Toronto Raptors? You've already won with the San Antonio Spurs. You've seen the way it impacted that community. What do you think this will do for Canada?
I'm really not sure. I guess you really have to ask somebody on the street or one of our fans. I'm pretty sure it's a long time waiting. They're going to be excited. They're already excited just being here for the first time. They're going crazy after the Eastern Conference Finals, and I don't know. There's no telling. You got to ask probably like I said, a fan or somebody that's in Canada, that's been living in Canada for a while. But I know they're going to be super excited. I don't know. We'll see.
Thank you, Kawhi.
The excitement that Kawhi has been holding in, it's all being let out. Unfortunately, a lot of it in this building. Could it be the last at Oracle? In this very building. Jared Greenberg, 3D, will have more as the Raps are one win away.